सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। श्रीचिन्मययतीशस्य गुरुं वन्दे तपोवनं तं हिमवद्विभूतिं मयि ज्ञानवैराग्यरूपिणम् समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Today, we will discuss about our most desired state, that is the deep sleep state. This state can be defined as touch the truth and return. Touch the truth and return. The three states of living being are being studied in these sections. The waking state relates to the sense organs. and the physical body. The dream state pertains to the mental body, but the deep sleep state pertains to the causal body. When the personality has no idea that it has a body or mind, it is obvious of everything. It is touching Brahman. Then when the soul returns from deep sleep to waking, it comes from self or Atma, declares Brahma Sutra 3.2.8. The question is, if it goes to the Atman and touches it, so it should become one with the Atman and should not retain an identity. How can the same person go to deep sleep and come back? This is the question. Okay. Please think in that way, because deep sleep is considered as pralaya. Every day we are born, and every day we apparently die. That deep sleep state is nothing but pralaya. So how we come back and how we again start with this world and in a sequence? Because if I tell you something else yesterday and today I tell, no, I didn't say, or yesterday I recognized you, but today I can't. And I'm the patient of either dementia or Alzheimer's. So the scriptures have discussed the aspect. In Brahma Sutra 3.2.9, this question is asked and answered in the way that since action, memory, and so on are the same before and after sleep, and since the scriptures say so, Atindriya Vishaya Vedaha Pramanaha or Pramanam. Anything. Means where our sense organ can't go, that is the field of work of Vedas. Because in the waking state, our all sense organs are very much active. Then there is less utility value of the Vedas apparently, because our sense organs, 5 organs of knowledge, 5 organs of actions, are the means of knowledge. In dream state, there is mind is fully active. Antahkarana, the inner instrument, is fully active. There also, the Veda is partly valuable for us, maybe. But in Sushupti, deep sleep, scripture's operational area starts. Brihadaranya Upanishad 4.3.16 it is says, wonderful. Sava Eshaha etasmin swapne ratva charitva drishtaiva punyam cha papam cha punaha pratinyayam pratiyonyayadravati buddhantayaiva saha yat tatra kinchit pashyati ananvagatastena bhavati asangaha heyam purushaha iti evam eva tad yajnavalkya soham. Leave it. The thing is, this mantra says that the same individual comes back to the waking state. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji raises the doubt himself. If a drop of water thrown into the ocean can return back, he tells, yes. He answered that the analogy is not correct in this case, because it is not a single drop falling into the ocean, but something else. The individual is diving into the ignorance-covered Brahman with his karma and samskaras. Tendency, basic tendency is samskaras. So, he returns the same person after sleep. When one enters the world of samadhi or ecstasy, one comes back enlightened. But in deep sleep, it is the ignorant going and coming back, going and coming back. Holy Mother Sarda Devi was asked the same question in a different way. Someone asked her how the enlightened soul can attain Brahman and return back. She gives the example of the swan drinking milk alone from a mixture of milk and water. The causal body, as we had seen, is nothing but the truth enveloped by ignorance. The soul that goes to sleep experiences deep sleep almost every day. It is written in the Chandogya Upanishad 8.6.3, tad yatra etat suptaha samastaha संप्रसन्नः स्वप्नं न विजानाति आसु तदा नाडीषु सुप्तः भवति तन्न कश्चन पाप्मा स्पर्शति और स्पर्शति तेजसा ही संपन्नः भवति. So it means when the soul sleeps in such a way that all the organs are withdrawn and he becomes completely serene in mind and does not dream and remains spread over these nerves, nadishu, nerves. Hence, nerves are mentioned. Here you have to know that nerves or nadi means not physical nerves. Like while Upanishad are telling about the heart, Angushtamatra Purushaha Nihitam Guhayam in Kathopanishad you have seen. That Hriday or heart, the cave of the heart, that heart is not the physical heart. So these nerves are called here or in Upanishad Hita. Just terminology. If you are the student of Vedanta, so you should know what is written in which Upanishad. Then you will also feel nice. So these nerves are called Hita, and it is said that the mind enters the Hita nerves in deep sleep. So where does the soul go to sleep? It is said in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad that through the nerves called Hita, the soul enters and it is called Purita or Puritat. The heart and rests, Puritat is heart and it rests there. So in deep sleep, the soul is in Puritat, means heart, not physical heart, according to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 2.1.19. So it is told there, wonderful. अथ यदा सुषुप्तो भवति यदा न कस्यचन वेद हिता नाम नाड्यो और नाड्यः द्वासप्ततिः सहस्राणि हृदयात् पुरीततम् अभिप्रतिष्ठन्ते ताभिः प्रत्यवसृत्य पुरीतति शेते स यथा कुमारः वा महाराजः वा महाब्राह्मणः वा अतिज्ञानमानन्दस्य गत्वा शैतैवमेवैष एतच्छेते. So Upanishad says in that way. Now, student asked the question, Ataha Sushupti Avastha ka. So, Atha Susupti Avastha ka. Guru replies, Aham kimapi na janami, Aham kimapi na janami, Sukhe na maya nidra anubhuyate iti susupti avastha कारण शरीर अभिमानी आत्मा prajna iti uchyate. Once again, atha sushupti avastha ka. It was the question. The answer is aham kimapi na janami sukhena maya nidra anubhuyate iti sushupti avastha कारण शरीर अभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञ इति उच्यते. अथ then sushupti avastha ka. What is deep sleep state? The question was asked to the Guru by the disciple. Aham, I, najanami, do not know, kimapi, anything, sukhena maya, happily by me, nidra anubhuyate, sleep was or is experienced, iti sushupti avastha is the deep sleep state, karana sharira abhimani identified with the causal body, atma prajna iti uchyate, self is called prajna. Means, then what is the deep sleep state? Student asked. And Guru replied, that state about which one says, I did not know anything. I enjoyed good sleep. Who says? Not Guru. It is our everyday's experience. Who are very lucky, they experience this state many times a day. Who are little lucky, their experience times are less. So ahankar or ego says that I did not know anything. I enjoyed good sleep. That is the deep sleep state. And when the Atman or self is identified with the causal body, is called prajna. So now the thing is, we need rest every day. So we go to sleep. First, there may be dream. Then comes deep sleep. That we pass through these stages in an ancient Indian discovery. Without any instruments, our sages discovered everything. What happened in deep sleep? The jiva or the ego goes into a shell, as it were. It remains there and returns. Are swoon and deep sleep state the same? Vedanta calls the state of swoon half sleep, while in deep sleep the soul breathes rhythmically and is in peace. The swoon state is different. It is not waking or deep sleep state. It is not dream state too, so it is a half sleep state. The Tattva Bodha, this text informed us that we have three bodies and three states. Now, furthermore explanation that little in a easier way, when one gives up identification with the gross and subtle bodies and identifies only with the causal body, one is said to be in the deep sleep state. In that state, one experiences the absence of all objects, all emotions, all thoughts. When one awakens from it, one says, I did not know anything, but I was happy. I slept well. This memory of having slept well or otherwise proves the presence of I, the experiencer. Even in the absence of the world, that experiencer remains. Hence, the joy experienced is of one's own true nature. But due to ignorance, we do not know this event, and so we wake up as ignorant as ever and looking for joy in the world of objects yet again. In the waking state, I identify with the gross body and become the doer and enjoyer. In the dream state, I identify with the subtle body and become the enjoyer of the dream world. And in the deep sleep state, there is neither the doer of action nor the enjoyer of the world. In the absence of thoughts, there is no concept of time, space, or duality. Hence, I cannot say how long I slept or where I was in sleep. Brahma Sutra 3.2.6 it is discussed. In the waking and dream states, I know that I exist, but I do not know my true nature. I take myself to be the gross and subtle bodies and accept the waking and dream worlds. How I accept them? I accept them to be real. In the deep sleep state, I'm ignorant of my true nature and also the world, except for the awareness that I exist. There is total ignorance, and therefore the individual is called prajna. Sanskrit is a very wonderful language. Sometimes we use prajna means vidwan, very wise, but here it is mentioned in different way. Prayena agna, one who is more or less ignorant. The waking and dream state of each of us different, obviously different. What I dreamt, that you don't dream or didn't dream. What I experience every day, it is not your experience. But the deep sleep state is the same for all. The king, the beggar, the ignorant one, and the wise man. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad told that just few minutes back I chanted the mantra. All experiences or all experience bliss in deep sleep state. The thing is, all experience bliss in the deep sleep state. There are no degrees in this bliss, and it is homogeneous. It is partless and complete. Therefore, we do not want to come out of it. We are refreshed and rejuvenated by this state. If we are sleepless for even a day, we become distraught. We know what happens if one night we spend sleepless. So the thing is, we willingly give up the whole world, isn't it? We willingly give up the whole world to go to that sleep, to that state. Some in our class also. Some even take sleeping tablets to induce this state. We go to these states either from the waking or the dream state. When we are tired physically or mentally and being overpowered by inertia, the unmanifest impressions or what is called vasanas of the waking world manifest to push us out of this state, either into the dream or the waking world. So this is the question, who calls me from the deep sleep? My vasanas, my karma calls me from the deep sleep state into the dream state or waking world. There are also some in-between states that we experience. The sleepwalker is both awake and asleep. It happened almost everyone's life as me. When I was a kid, maybe I was sleeping deeply, and my beloved, compassionate mother called me and forced me to eat something else because she prepared the food what I like the most. She will be very hard if I don't eat it. So my mom called me up and started showing me greed factor and anything else about the food, but I was not ready to come into that gross world of apparent happiness. But I ate, and in the morning when I'm refreshed, I'm rejuvenated, I saw the favorite food in the refrigerator, and I started asking my mom, didn't you give me last night? Don't you know how much I like it? And my mom started telling, hey, I called you up and you ate this much. But I did not know anything else. So the thing is, it is both awake and asleep. One in half sleep state is neither awake nor asleep. And the daydreamer is both aware and dreaming. The three states come and go, come and go. And just think, each state negates the experience and reality of the other two. There is no value of the gross world in our dream state. And if in dream I earn a lot, that wealth has no value in the physical world. And in deep sleep state, there is nothing. And it proves that without anything we become happy. So each state negates the experience and reality of the other two. I am the witness of these states, isn't it? I alone the witness of these three states. I stand unnegated by them. I may act like a beggar in a play, but I do not become a beggar. Similarly, I am not the roles I take up for the waker, dreamer, or deep sleeper. So, Atma alone is the witness of three states, or in Sanskrit it is called Avasthatraya Sakshi. And when I am identified myself with the waker, dreamer, dream state or deep sleep state, my name becomes changed, but Atma remains the same. What is knowledge? What is true knowledge? True knowledge means the notion goes off that I am an experiencer of waking state, because the wise or the jnani also experience these three, means he goes through these three states. So Sushupti means I don't know anything. So the thing is, the sleep was happily experienced by me. I enjoyed a good sleep. So in Sushupti, we get recharged. And you know, every one of us use smartphone. Whole day texting, messaging. Here happened that, there happened that. I ate that. He many I know. But every night we see that the battery level is 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%. And within the mobile it says, please charge the phone. Your battery is going to be empty. If you consider this journey as a mobile phone, so when we are tired physically and mentally, from the inside, someone tells, now leave apart everything else and get charged. Sushupti is our charging. It is verily needed. Otherwise, the mobile phone will not function. Though there is data in SIM card, balance in SIM card, all the things are there, but if it is not charged, it will not work. So in waking, we experience our past karma and we create future karma. Some important point I'm going to discuss. Okay. In waking, we experience our past karma, because to exhaust our karma, this body we have got. So actually what we experience, whether it is pleasure or pain, it is our past karma. And when we perform the actions to exhaust the karma, we create future karma. But in dream, we only exhaust our past karma, but oh, thank God, we don't create any new karma. So if we commit any sin in the dream, it is not in our hand because we are not conscious. So it doesn't create any penalty. But in deep sleep state, we neither exhaust nor create any new karma. But our prarabdha karma, our past karma, knocks us to be exhausted. Because we have come here, we are born, this body is born to exhaust our past karma. And that has to be exhausted, like Ramacharit Manasa. I think everyone has studied or listened to. That Rama avatar, the incarnation Rama, had some different purpose to come. To kill the demons. So when all other gods and goddesses saw that Bhagavan Rama is very happy with Mata Sita and his own mother, wife, brothers, they started thinking that Bhagavan may be forgotten the purpose of his human birth. So they consulted with Goddess Saraswati and she was not agreed. Lastly, she was agreed to create a negative thought in Kaikeyi and Manthara. They were innocent and they were really wonderful because Kaikeyi, Mother Kaikeyi loved Rama maybe more than his own son. But Goddess Saraswati created such a condition in mind as all the peace breaks up. So gods and goddesses forced Rama to go into the forests because in the forests there were sages who were doing penance for thousands of years only for a reason of Bhagavan Rama. If Bhagavan Rama came like us, the normal people, eat, sleep, procuring children and dying, then what is the use of incarnation? A lot of devotees were waiting for the years. And Bhagavan promised them that I will come and I will meet you. So how the drama will be created? How Bhagavan will go to the forest? How Ravana will be killed? So everything is created by the crooked mind of gods and goddesses. Likewise, when we sleep happily, living the whole real, apparently real world, for whom we exhaust our whole life, all the relationships, all the breakup, all I love you, all I miss you, everything. We live apart and I go to sleep happily and we don't want to come out also. But our karma knocks us. Hey, Divakar, get up. You have to exhaust your past karma and you have to shout Tattva Bodha. So you have to study for that. So in deep sleep, experience is dormant. If it was expressed experience, then it was not deep sleep. Deep sleep is such a state where I am not aware of myself, whether I am a male or female, whether I am a king or beggar, whether I am a human being or animal. I don't know. So their experiencer is passively present. Otherwise, how one can claim aham kimapi na janami? Because, see, I am telling I don't know anything else. But the sukham or the pleasure or the happiness was experienced. Otherwise, how one can tell sukhena maya nidra abhuyate? Where there is no experience, I can't recollect. I tell, suppose something else, someone is asked anything else, and what I have never experienced, never perceived, I suddenly told that I have no such experience. But here it is, we every day tell, oh, what a wonderful sleep. Sukhena maya nidra aviyate means I was present there. Then how, otherwise, how I can claim that I slept happily? Now the question is, if the world is absent, then how that happiness came? When the Atma is identified with Karana Sharira. So where that happiness come, that bliss, that peace, total peace come, it comes from nowhere. It is our intrinsic nature. And when the Atma is identified with the Karana Sharira, then it is called Prajna. So, Karana Sharira, when we discussed, we told Sharira Dayasya Karanam. So, waking state means thula, gross, subtle and causal. Dream state means subtle and causal. And in deep sleep, there is only Karana Sharira, nothing else. I love deep sleep because there is less identification. All our bhoga enjoyments in the waking world are in the gross form. In subtle, there is no bhoga, actually, no enjoyment. So we can produce thought in waking state. That is why in gross body, we need objects to enjoy. In subtle state, in dream state, we don't need any external object to enjoy. But in Sushupti, Atma is named as Prajna, means more or less ignorant. Means at that moment, it doesn't know anything else. So the thing is, Vishwa means when Atma is identified with the gross body. Taijasa means when Atma is identified with the dream. And the Prajna when Atma is identified with the causal body in deep sleep states. They are contradictory to each other. So they can't coexist. They can't coexist. Why? But I always exist as a witness or sakshi all the time. So, waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper is otherwise known as experiencer. Waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper is otherwise known as experiencer. And that experiencer is called as jiva or ego. Jiva means experiencer. Not only the experiencer of the gross world, but the experiencer of all states. When I identified with anything, I am the experiencer. I am Vishwa, I am Tvaijasa, I am Prajna. Those three names belongs to I, the Atman. When I am not identified with anything or any experiences, then only I am Atma. That Atma is the witness of three states of experience. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.